morning, everybody. It is Monday morning. Things are actually pretty chill around here. Most Mondays are kind of crazy, but today we have had a very peaceful morning. Art is at work and I am going to make some perfect buttermilk biscuits for you guys today. And we're gonna put that peach butter on them. When I first got married, I had never made biscuits before in my life, or bread, or really anything like that from scratch. And so I had to learn how to do that because my husband really enjoyed made from scratch biscuits and bread and waffles and pancakes. And my mom made me those things, but I just never got around to learning them. Over the years, I made the biscuits and I could never get them just right. And one day, I was watching my brother-in-law make biscuits, and I realized what I had been doing wrong the whole time. Why my biscuits weren't like fluffy and light. So I'm gonna show you that trick today, and I really think that if you do that, your biscuits are gonna turn out perfect every time. The kids have been working on a top secret project, so I'm a little nervous about that. I wanna go see what it is. I don't know if it's still top secret though.
That's peanut butter that we're making.
Oh, you're making peanut butter.
Yeah.
Very cool.
If you turn it on, this is an old one.
That is very cool. Now let's see what Grace is up to. What are you making? What's your plan for your cat elevator? So, did your elevator work for the kitties? What happened?
They jumped out.
Oh no. So what are you gonna try now? Lovely. Let's go see if it works. Good job. Now can you bring it back up? Nice job. Here are the ingredients you'll need. You'll need some kind of fat. I like to use butter, flour, salt, and either baking powder or baking soda. You're gonna need milk and a lemon or vinegar. First thing you do, cube your butter. Go ahead and stick your butter back in the refrigerator. Next thing you're gonna do is you're gonna get 3/4 cup of milk and you're gonna squirt a lemon in it. Now if you have buttermilk, just use your buttermilk. This is gonna activate the baking soda that is in the baking powder. The baking powder can activate itself, but I like to give it a little jump. Plus I like the flavor of buttermilk. And then I just set it aside. Next thing you're gonna do is put in 2 cups of flour. I wanted to make these kind of like a treat, so I'm just doing white flour today. You're gonna add 3/4 teaspoon of salt, baking powder, 2½ teaspoons. I'm just gonna whisk this together. That gets all the dry ingredients mixed really well before you add any liquid. Get your butter out of the fridge. And you're gonna cut it in just like you would if you were making a pie crust. Once you've got your butter cut up into pea-sized clumps, you're gonna add your milk. It's nice and curdled. And this is where you can go wrong making your biscuits. They don't require kneading like bread. You want to handle them as little as possible.
Mama, can I help?
Yes, you can in just a minute, okay? So I'm very, very gently just going to work the milk in. Once you've worked it in just a little bit with the spoon, you've kind of gotten everything a little wet. You're just going to use your hands now. See, I'm not kneading the dough. I'm just kind of letting it come together. Flour a surface, and you're not even going to use a rolling pin. You're just going to kind of form it a little bit more like this, and then just push it down. Notice how thick mine are. I like really high biscuits, so I keep mine pretty thick. And just to note, I usually do a double batch of these for my family. Hey, are you going to be my helper? What are you going to do? I like to just use a regular mouth mason lid ring to cut out my biscuits. Good. Push all the way down, don't forget. Push all the way down and then wiggle it back and forth. Very nice. Real gentle. Okay, don't squish them.
My turn.
Okay, so see how you have all these leftovers? You're gonna very, very gently bring them together like this, and then you're gonna just pat it down. Open it up, please. Now, where is Brighton? Where's Brighton? Where's Brighton? There he is! What are you doing, you crazy boy? I honestly don't even know what it would be like to cook without a kid in the cabinets under the sink. Preheat your oven to 400 degrees. You're gonna set your timer for 12 minutes. So I just want to emphasize with you guys that the most important part when making your biscuits is not handling them too much. That's what's gonna give you light, fluffy, crumbly, delicious, melt in your mouth biscuits. What are you doing, Joy Joy?
Setting the table.
What are you doing?
I'm putting paper towels under people's plates. Look.
Ooh, it's like we're having a tea party.
Yeah.
What do you think?
It's yummy. I already mixed it.
Do you like the peach butter? Yeah. How about you? You already ate half yours, huh? Well, those biscuits are kid-approved, and so is peach butter. What in the world did you do?
I got a bunch of products.
How many did you get?
I don't know. Mommy, I think there's a 15.
He's the biggest one. Look at him. Hey, good job.
This is a big one. Whoa.
Let me see.
It's a big one. It's fluffy. They're all fluffy.
So I thought it would be fun to talk for a minute about leavening. Baking soda, baking powder. Baking soda has one ingredient, sodium bicarbonate. Baking soda is a base, and it has to have an acid in order to work, like this. Let me show you right now. Baking soda, vinegar. This is a base, this is an acid. Watch what happens. Woo! Say you make biscuits and you use baking soda and not baking powder, and you have buttermilk. Well, when you add that buttermilk to that baking soda, it creates all those bubbles in your biscuits, and those CO2 gas bubbles get trapped in your biscuits and they rise. What is baking soda anyway, and where does it even come from? That's what I wanted to know. Well, baking soda comes from an ore called trona, and it's mined out of the mountains in like Colorado and Wyoming and various places around the world. So the first ingredient in baking powder is baking soda. Yeah, baking soda. And remember, baking soda needs an acid in order to make it work. So the difference though is that baking powder has baking soda and 2 acids. The reason for that is because the first acid sets off the baking soda, right? It gives it that initial rise. And that's activated through liquid. So when, like you saw me add the vinegar to the baking soda, that's like the first chemical reaction. It's activated by liquid. The second chemical reaction with the second acid is activated through heat. So what you're gonna get is a baked good that rises longer and is fluffier and lighter with baking powder. A lot of people prefer baking powder because of that. What's the big deal with aluminum-free baking powder? You're gonna see that on a lot of cans of baking powder. Well, one of the first things is a lot of people believe eating metals isn't really very good for you. And so a lot of people choose to buy aluminum-free baking powder. Another reason you might want to choose aluminum-free baking powder is for the taste. It just has less of a metallic, tinny taste to it. What can you use baking powder in? Well, it already has an acid in it. 2 acids actually. So you don't have to have buttermilk or lemon juice or anything like that. You want to use it in non-acid containing recipes like brownies or anything like with whole milk or like Dutch cocoa, banana bread, things like that. Those things don't have an acid in them to set off the baking soda. I hope you guys will be really encouraged today that making homemade biscuits is super simple and it's fast and it's delicious too. All right, have a great day.